What's up, Barbarians? If you watched my PTR video, I did an Iron Maelstrom build and it cleared pit 85. Big difference is the change to Unbroken chain. I thought I would compare this build to the one that we're going to get in Season 7. So here we are in pit 80, and this will clear pit 80 no problem. But with our other build from the PTR, we cleared 85 no problem. And we didn't even add the Magnum Opus. Because of that, this build I think is going to be very strong in Season 7. And I'm definitely excited to give this a try. The playstyle is the exact same. We're going to spam our Steel Grasp, which is going to let us spam our Iron Maelstrom. And of course, as you keep going, you're going to spam all your shouts as well. So as we go through the dungeon, spam your skills, and we will see you guys at the end of the dungeon. Okay. This should be our last pack until we hit the boss. As you can see, we are 6.5 minutes in. Sorry, we have 6.5 minutes left. And with the PTR video, we were at the boss at 7 minutes. The changes to the Unbroken chain are going to be absolutely massive. So they're easily stronger. And I'm excited to see how strong they're going to be in Season 7. Because this playstyle is pretty cool. It does use shouts, and you do use earthquakes and dust devils, but you still do get damage from your Iron Maelstrom, which is really neat. It's definitely not a one-shot boss killer, but it'll clear the screen quite easily. I'm looking forward to Season 7. And I'm still going to try to make as many Barbarian builds as I can. So this build here in Season 7 will be more damage. And we didn't add the Magnum Opus, where here we did. We made some mild modifications to it. I'm also using the Earth Striker aspect for some guaranteed overpower, which allows us to take advantage of our passive. But overall, it works really good, and it is fun. Iron Maelstrom in Season 6, not as good as the PTR from Season 7, but can easily clear pit 80. Our build setup is identical except for a couple aspects. The Harlequin Crest, the Shroud of False Death for the $1 passives, Fierce Winds aspect with the Iron Maelstrom damage, and this is the temper, the Iron Maelstrom temper, that is not going to be in Season 7. They have stealth nerfed it and was not in the patch notes. Then we use the Balcathos aspect for our damage reduction, along with the Harlequin Crest. the exploiter aspect in the boots to help with unstoppable enemies, and the earthquakes aspect on the two-hander with Iron Maelstrom damage and chance for Iron Maelstrom to hit twice. I actually have a 99.4 chance for Iron Maelstrom to hit twice. And here you want strength max life damage with damage to Iron Maelstrom, and you want 2 weapons to have chance with Iron Maelstrom to hit twice. And then we have the Battle Mat aspect. With the increase to this really makes this aspect shine for this build. Make sure this item is a mace for the Wallop passive. Before we did have this blade here with Intercom, not Edge Masters. If you do not have the Magnum Opus, you can use a regular legendary. It will not be as powerful. If you have the Magnum Opus, definitely use this. We could increase this damage more as we have not spec'd into the Magnum Opus. We don't have a lot of maximum resource. This is something I will be doing for Season 7. Then we have the Ancient's Oath. Very important to get one with unique aspect close to 60% as possible. This also gives us a massive damage buff and helps us cool down our Iron Maelstrom. These rings are not the greatest. I didn't have any with greater affects, but you want strength, attack speed, and critical strike chance on both. And you want both to have Iron Maelstrom cooldown and Iron Maelstrom damage. And up here we have the Unbroken Chain. The Unbroken Chain is good, but the one for Season 7 is much better. With ranks of Slaying Strike, our weapon expertise is Two-Handed Axe. For our skills, 2 points in Lunging Strike or any other basic attack, as we are not going to use it. Then we take 1 point into Pressure Point to get 3 points into Warpath. This is why we take the Earth Striker aspect. Next, we take 4 points into Ground Stomp, into Tactical Ground Stomp, and we want this just to stun enemies and another way to make them vulnerable. 3 points into Imposing Presence, 3 points into Martial Vigor, 2 points into Rallying Cry. We don't need more resource generation and we don't need more Fortify. 2 points into Challenging Shout, 3 points into War Cry, as we do have enemies close to us all the time with Steel Grasp, 3 points into Booming Voice, 3 points into Raid Leader, 3 points into Swiftness, 3 points into Aggressive Resistance, 3 points into Pit Fighter, 3 points into Slaying Strike, and if your critical strike chance is low, put 3 points into No Mercy. We have 3 points into Steel Grasp for Warrior Steel Grasp. As you see, our cooldown on Steel Grasp is less than 2 seconds. This is why we only have 1 point into Steel Grasp. And that's why on our ring, we don't need Steel Grasp cooldown. 1 point to Thick Skin to get 3 points into Counteroffensive. Use 1 or 2 points into Irrepressible. We have 3 points into Heavy Handed, 3 points into Wallop. My last point I put into Brute Force. And I put 1 point to Furious Impulse to keep our Fury up for our Magnum Opus. And then we have 7 points into Iron Maelstrom for Supreme Iron Maelstrom. And our key passive is Walking Arsenal. Paragon board. Our first board is Wrath. Our second board is Decimator with Ire. Our third board to the left of Decimator is Force of Nature with Twister. Our fourth board to the right of Decimator is Carnage, where we take Rumble. Our final board is Blood Rage, where we take Challenger. This is one of the builds that I will be trying out first in Season 7. Even without Mythics, this will still be a viable build if you have these 3 uniques. This one being mandatory along with Ancient's Oath, where this is more icing on the cake, but I do want to see how well this can do in Season 7. My plans for the rest of the season is to make one more build, play some more Path of Exile, and then get into Season 7. If you're still playing Season 6 and you want a unique playstyle, give this build a try. I'm going to try to level with Iron Maelstrom for Season 7. Because Iron Maelstrom is pretty strong in the early game. Because Iron Maelstrom, with the aspect of Shattered Steel, is actually very strong. I used part of this to level up during Season 6, and it worked very well. If I can find this unique, that is the first thing I'm going to try with leveling, if possible. Alright guys, thanks for watching, and I will see you guys next time.